Hi guys, it's Vikas here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. Which test is easier, computer-based or paper-based? Actually, last month I took my first computer-based test in London. In this video, I'll compare computer-based tests with the paper-based test I took last year. Um, Actually, there are quite a few advantages of taking computer-based tests, so I'll share my experience, and hopefully this video will help you to decide whether which format is right for you guys. So let's get started. So first of all, I'll start with listening section. Actually, in computer-based test, they gave me the earphones and I just put them on, and yeah, it was quite pleasant because uh, I didn't hear any noises. But in last year when I took a paper-based test, there were over 100 people in the room, and it was such a noisy, and people were coughing and moving, and it was quite difficult to concentrate for me. But this year it was easier for me to concentrate, so it was pleasant, and I could hear anything. So that's why it's the biggest advantage of taking computer-based tests. But I heard like some centers for paper-based tests, they also provide you earphones. So it's best to check with the um, with your centers before taking tests whether they will provide you the earphone or not. The other biggest advantage of computer-based tests is that they'll give you small room, and when I took my test, they were just, I think, over 20 people in a small room, and it was quite calm and serene. So yeah, it was lovely. But in last year when I took paper-based tests, there were over 100 people, and it was a good experience for me. Um, as for and yeah, so these are the major differences. The other major difference is that in paper-based test, they give you 10 minutes to transfer your answers in the answer sheet, but in computer-based tests, they only give you 2 minutes at the end to check your answers. So actually the pattern is same, the questions are same. So first you have to read the question, they give you a few seconds to read the question, then you have to listen to the recording, and then you have a few seconds to revise the question. So the tip to score higher is that don't waste too much time on revising the questions instead of reading upcoming questions. So yeah, if you do that, hopefully you'll score higher, and you save some time, because in multiple choice questions, it would definitely help you. So yeah, so these are the few differences between paper-based and computer-based tests I experienced. So at the test, they will not teach you how to use the software. So best thing is that you have to practice at home. So I'll share there are few free materials you can use and practice at home. For example, from British Council website. So you get used to the software before going to your test center. So I'll share the link in the description, and you can practice from there. There's a change in listening test pattern for both computer and paper-based tests. You're not gonna get the practice question. Test just get started straight away. Okay, let's move on. No, I'll discuss something about reading section. So basically, the biggest advantage of taking computer-based test is that the timer is on your computer screen. But in paper-based test, there's a clock in the wall, and you have to memorize the time, and then you have to calculate the time accordingly. So I think it's a bit difficult. But in computer-based tests, you don't need to worry about time, because the time is on in front is on the screen, computer screen. So it's much easier in my point of view. Um, The other thing is that in paper-based test, the examiner will tell you when 10 minutes or 5 minutes left, but in computer-based test, the screen will there's a red flash appear on the screen, so when 10 or 5 minutes left. But here's the point to be noted: when 1 minute left, so it doesn't appear in second. It just screen can be locked at any time. So yeah, these are the major differences. Um, for paper-based tests, when I took last year, so you have to answer the questions on the question paper, and then you have to transfer them accordingly to the answer sheet. So they don't give you the extra 10 minutes like they give you in listening tests. But in computer-based test, you have to answer the questions on the screen, and also you don't have to type all the time, because especially in true false, you just simply need to click on the answer, so it saves some time. Another advantage is that actually, before I discuss another advantage, first you get used to different kind of questions, because sometimes you have just simply need to click on the questions, sometimes you have to type, and sometimes you have to pick a box and drag on the right place. So yeah, so first get used to these ones, so you won't find it difficult on the test day. Yeah, so other thing I want to mention, in computer-based tests, you can highlight the paragraphs or answers or questions, whatever you want, because but in paper-based tests, yeah, you can use the pencil instead of highlighting them. So there's a function on your screen, so you have to click right and just simply you can highlight them. The other thing I noticed that in the fill in the blank questions, from the paragraph, you simply can copy words from the text, and then you can type them in the blank. So yeah, it's quite easier to summarize. um, I believe it's much, yeah, computer-based test for reading is much easier, because before taking my test, I was a bit confused. I wasn't sure about the reading, but I think uh, reading was much easier, because the screen was much larger, and all the questions and the text were on the same page, so I didn't have to go back and front. So yeah, and I didn't have to scroll down or anything like that. So yeah. For writing, is totally your choice, because when it comes to writing, it depends on your typing speed, and yeah, typing speed does matter. This time I finished my writing test 10 minutes earlier, so I have 10 minutes to proofread, and I wrote much larger essays compared to last year when I took paper-based tests, and yeah, so my writing is basically slow, and uh, last year I couldn't complete on time, so that was the major difference. In my writing is normally very messy, so um, I practiced my typing like for like 1 year, then my typing was good. So another major drawback for writing is that because sometimes you make writing errors, so it's very important that you type them correctly. And for computer-based tests, it's important that you proofread your typing. The other, I think, biggest benefit was that because I can correct my like spelling mistakes and or grammatical mistakes, because in paper-based tests, if you use uh, pen, then it's very difficult for you to correct them, but in typing you can retype them. And yeah, so I didn't have to count my words, because you can see how many words you type, because but in paper-based test you have to physically calculate the words, like because in task 2 you have to write at least 250 words, and in task 1 you have to write 150 words. But if you're taking computer-based tests, you don't need to worry about them, because it appears on your computer screen. Yeah, so these are the some pros and cons, so it depends, so it totally depends on you whether you gonna prefer to take computer-based or paper-based tests. As far as speaking test is concerned, it's same whatever format you take, because it's a one-to-one interview with your examiner. So another thing I want to mention, for the computer-based test, normally results come within 3 to 5 working days after taking your test. But if you're taking paper-based tests, it takes about 13 days for the result to come down. So that's another major difference. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. In computer-based tests, they also provide you pen and paper to make notes, especially writing in. If you want to make notes before start your writing, you can make them on paper. In coming weeks, I'll make more videos regarding each section of the test and give you tips how to score higher. So don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and thank you very much for watching my video. Stay safe. See you soon.